Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I kind of look the way I feel today. But anyway, today is, right? Yes, it's Christmas. Well, at least it kind of feels like Christmas. You know. But we still don't know what's under the tree. It is voting day here, ladies and gentlemen. It is November 8th. Right at around 11:30, and we're all very excited here in my house. All that's in this room. Just I'm very excited. My other half, not so much. She could care less. It's like the sugar. It's just the way they do things here is crazy. But the only thing we got to vote for in Camden County is that piece of work, Donald Norcross, the man who does nothing. I would love that job. I would be very good at doing nothing. I'm good at that. I could sit around and do nothing like no one you've ever seen before, as a matter of fact. I could do nothing all day long and make myself laugh. Oh, yes, I can. I could do nothing all day long and really have a good time. Yes. Now, we can pick up a whole lot of seats tonight. But at the same time, like I've been saying all along, look, we all got screwed in 2020. We know we all got screwed in 2020. There is tons of evidence we got screwed on 2020. Now, the opposition, they own the media, they own the print media. They own what comes over the airways via satellite. They've got that tied up. They've got a better situation here when it comes to propaganda than Nazi Germany had. See, Nazi Germany, Hitler gave everybody a free radio. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. These guys were the masters of how to use propaganda. Joseph Goebbels, who was the minister of propaganda for Nazi Germany, he conceived the idea of having like 24-hour Nazi propaganda playing over a radio, giving it away for free. I actually believe that was his idea. The people love it. They're getting something for free. And, you give them some Benny Goodman, Glenn Miller, Tommy Dorsey, and all them guys once in a while. And Berlin Betty, or whatever the hell her name was. Gee, can you imagine what she must have looked like? It's Gertruda. Anyway, um, so we need to stay vigilant. You see, because we were trying to get the truth out there. Um, But the media, the media nah, turned it into something else that we were all crazy. And look how far they were able to get with just that and using it for Jan 6th. I mean, they're still calling it to this day. They are still calling it an insurrection. How many people out there are aware that the FBI, after a very long investigation, actually stated a couple of days ago there is no evidence to prove that there was an insurrection? But if you listen to TV tonight, they'll probably still be talking about it because that's all these people got. They've got Donald Trump and they've got Jan 6th. That's about it, right? But they know how to use this stuff, okay? Because our enemy, okay, the people that don't like these people, our enemy are a bunch of evil, blood sucking. Yes, that's what they are. They want the end of the United States. Okay? And if you don't think that's true, oh, come on, Joe. They don't hate this country. Oh, really? How are things going at the southern border? Now, with all the money we have spent, you don't think we could have finished that wall by now? Of course we could have. And it would have kept it would have kept many people out of here. By finishing the wall, probably also would have saved a lot of lives of women and children, the guys I don't care so much about. Really. By finishing that wall, would have stopped a lot of suffering because people wouldn't have bothered. Alright? But because it has that brainless piece of flesh, and I'm speaking of Kamala, many people have suffered and died at her watch. Okay? Okay, Kamala, that's your fault. So, let's try it again. Do you think they love this country? Okay, they do. They do. So they show their love for this country by what? Allowing all these people in? How is that showing love for the country? Would you like to try and answer that again, Mr. or Mrs. Smith? You see, ladies and gentlemen, when you take the oath of office, just like when you swear into the military, I don't care what branch it is, you hold your hand up, okay, and you take a sacred oath to defend the United States Constitution from all enemies, all enemies, all enemies. Foreign, meaning Mexico, and domestic, meaning the United States. Look at what Capitol Hill does with domestic, though. Now, they have taken the word domestic and placed the word terrorist after it. So now, when these idiotic Americans hear the word terrorist, are they American ones? I mean, so if you're wearing one of these, you are now a terrorist. Okay? So what we just learned is these people on Capitol Hill do not show any love for this country. They are not living up to their oath, okay? Which you probably could get them on dereliction of duty. You probably could. Matt, you should. You should. Because by them allowing all of this to happen, they are responsible for a lot of people dying. So we've got elected officials that it's obvious. They just do not want to touch the wall. How many of you people out there have thought that one through? They do not want to stop people coming in this country illegally. Why? You don't think there's terrorists coming in there with them? They've already seen it. I think they said there was like 150 something nations, uh, you know, affiliated with all these, let's call them migrants, right? Because that's what they. Or I love this one, undocumented citizen. Undocumented. Hey, come here. Where were you born? Guatemala. While you were living in Guatemala, have you ever been here before? No, I didn't think so. You never applied for citizenship before? No, you didn't. But now that you're here, they're calling you a. Right, an undocumented citizen. Have you taken the citizenship test yet? No. But that entitles you to my tax dollars, right? Yeah, sure, it sure as hell do. So, as if that's not insulting enough, because you go to work and you support these people, the government tells our veterans, F you, and they give all of this money out to people coming in here illegally. No, that does not mean they have any love for this country. Anyway, so this evening, while you're watching the returns, okay, keep in mind that anything can happen, especially with this evil crew. Alright? The Pelosi's, the Bidens, all of them. All of them. Just because. Just because there's a group of people out there that call themselves Republicans. That's not necessarily a good thing either. Okay? Because what did we have a lot of issues with during the Trump administration? We had a lot of issues with rhinos, Republican in name only. I mean, they could have helped us out, but they didn't. You know. And that's why I am one of those people that I don't want one political party. I don't want two political parties or six or nine or 20. I want no political parties. How about the American Party? Ta da! We vote American. Here's one. We vote for, do you want to be a globalist? Do you not want to be a globalist? Let's vote on that. Do you like Pepsi or do you like Coke? Right? Do you like Almond Joy or do you like Snickers bars? We don't vote on all that stuff. Do you think it's a good thing to have a sick, twisted pervert show up at his school dressed like God knows what, fondling a 2 year old, a 5 year old, or whatever it is, whilst they read him a sick, twisted story supporting the ideals of LGBTHQM. And yeah, they are trying to get kids to live that way for some odd reason. You know, when my son was still when my son was in school, I remember because he would get headaches, and every year we had to renew the note from his doctor that he every so often would need a Tylenol or something. And we had to give permission for that. Right? Now, they are saying that children should have the right to decide what gender they are. I'm very confused because we just went through a historic, one of the most historic events that has ever taken place in human history. And I'm certain a lot of people don't see it that way, but that's exactly what that shutdown was. Can anybody ever name a time or place when the world shut down at the same time? Anyone? It's never happened before, has it? No. Why I brought that up, I have absolutely no idea. But I guess I ought to run with it. I got to figure out something. Say, whoops, daisy, I'm making a mess over here. Yeah, the world shut down, right? You know, and everybody was cool with that. Just okay. They went on with their life. They got the jab, right? You got your however many jabs. Me, I got Uno jab. You know, yeah. It's sad. I gotta tell you, it is sad. So that's where we are at. I know this particular one here is not full of energy because until they get this medication thing cleared up with me, this is how it's gonna be. I never knew how important potassium was before. It can screw you up if you don't have enough of it in your body. Um, so keep that in mind. What are you gonna do with that? You know? Hey, Roy. Yeah, Bill. I was talking to this fella, and he said to me, he said, "You better watch your potassium." I looked at him like he was crazy. I said, "What?" I got about 30 pounds of it in the shed right there. What do I got to go look at potassium for? Not that kind of potassium. You got potassium in your body? I didn't even know that. And yeah, because the potassium, the way I understood it, is the bridge or the connector between the electrolytes in your muscles and the and the wiring the nerves need to take it to the brain so that when this muscle wants to move, everything is coordinated. And if the potassium ain't there, the biggest muscle in your body, which is your heart, will definitely be affected. Yeah. My doctor, what was this? Close to 3 weeks ago. I'm sitting right here, right? Imagine this now. It's 10 o'clock at night, right? It's a weeknight. It's 10 o'clock on a weeknight. And my phone rings. I went, oh, my phone rang. Well, you better answer it, you idiot. So I answer my phone, and it's my doctor. Well, it wasn't actually the doctor, it was this other guy that works for the doctor. And he said, "Hey, Joe." I said, "Yeah." "This is Roy." No, he didn't say that. He said, "You got to get your ass on down to the ER." Man, I look like shit. I ain't telling you. Man, I ain't gonna get any dates looking like this. That's a damn sure. I used to really be a chick magnet at one time, believe it or not. I used to have hair down to my shoulders. I was always extremely well dressed, you know? I mean, that's how things were in South Philly back then, you know? And especially if you happened to be Italian, well, you're born with that inside of you of, for whatever reason, you just have this ability to coordinate your clothing and make it look very nice. One of the best jobs I ever had in my life, though. I sold suits for today's man back in the 90s. I loved that job. I was good at it, too, you know? You walk around there every night feeling like $1 million, looking like $1 million. You get to talk to people, and I mean, you see some funny shit because, and especially around this time of year, things start to really pick up. There's always going to be the women are always in front of the men when they walk in there, and it's usually a very well dressed woman, okay, with some dumpy looking guy behind her wearing a hockey jersey. And is there something you could do with that? Yeah, you hook them right up. I remember. Ain't this a decent show though? How many of you get to listen to this kind of stuff? I was it was probably a couple weeks before Christmas, and that, those were long days back then. We worked. I think they were like 12-hour days or something like that. But you didn't work every day. 2 or 3 days a week, I think it was. And this kid came up to me. He needed me help. And I says, listen, I just got my very first real interview with this law firm. He says, I want to make a statement. I want to look like, you know. And I hooked this guy up, man. I mean, down to the tie. I mean, suit, shirt, tie, cufflinks, the whole 9 yards. I think I even sold him a pair of shoes with that. About a month goes by, and this guy came in that place with such a big smile. I mean, he came right up to me and gave me a hug. He said, man, that worked out so well. Damn, man, I love hearing that kind of stuff. Made me feel good. So, yeah, that was my today's man story. And probably some of you are wondering, who the hell is today's man? Yeah. So, yep. Anyway, look, this was just for ha-has, really. But this isn't an extremely important day. I hope we pick up all the seats we're supposed to. I my gut is telling me this is probably going to be very exciting. I don't. You just know because the way they've been playing this whole thing up of the bloodbath, the red wave, you just know something is going to happen. The Democrats aren't going to let this one go. All right? They will scratch, bite, claw, tear, stab, shoot to hold on to power. Really. That's how I see it, you know? So I'm going to have my lunch here. What are you going to have, Joe? Who you would ask? I'm going to make it a sausage. Sausage sandwich, Italian sausage, right? Fresh baked roll from Del Bono's right down the street. Get that sausage, sweet Italian. I mean, it depends on me. You could throw you could throw scapple on it. I don't care. Me, I'm gonna have a sausage sandwich. Right? So I'm gonna use Italian sausage. I mean, when I was living in South Philly, I would go down the street to the Italian butcher, and they were making their own sausage back then. That was the good stuff. But we got to do the prepackaged, which isn't horrible. It could be better though. But what I do is I get it, I flatten it out a bit, throw it in the pan. Now, there's a number of different ways of doing it. You could do sausage and peppers, right? Uh, there's a number of different ways of doing that too. Me, I'm just gonna get it. I'm gonna fry it lightly with onions and some cheese. It's a provolone mozzarella mix on the roll, and that's it, baby. So next time I see you, hopefully we got a super majority, and I'm feeling a whole lot better. Cause I'll tell you the way I feel. I can't even play the drums right now. I don't think. Well, I should say that. I could probably. I don't know if I'd be able to make it through 3 sets. I'm being serious. That's 30 songs. I don't know. I don't think I can do that. And that makes me very sad because when I'm playing the drums, that's usually when I'm feeling my best. Not because I'm playing the drums. Wait a second. No. I'm usually feeling my best because I am playing the drums. For instance, I may try this out. Like, I feel like shit right now, right? Nah, you know what'll happen? I'll just cramp up like I did the other night. So, I don't think I will. Alrighty? I'm glad I had that thought to share with you. So, just in case you were wondering whether or not, gee, I wonder if he's going to play the drums when he's done his lunch. Now you know. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being there. All seven of you. Ah, jeez. Look, when you retire and you got mental issues, thank God for the internet. You know what I mean? It keeps you occupied. It keeps your brain going, and you get to do some interesting, funny stuff. So, with that being said, have a good evening and enjoy watching